Good morning, students. Let's start with the next topic, that is fossil fuels. What are fossil fuels? Fossil fuels are produced from the remains of plants and animals buried under the earth millions of years ago. And these fossil fuels, they produce large amount of energy on burning. What are the examples? Examples of fossil fuels are coal, petroleum and natural gas. Coal, petroleum and natural gas is formed by the remains of plants and animals which lived almost millions of years ago. So that is why it is said that these resources should be used very carefully. Why? Because these resources are limited and it can be exhausted by the human activity. And these are known as exhaustible natural resource. Okay, exhaustible natural resource means the natural resources which can get exhausted after a certain period of time, or you can say it will get over by continuous use, like for coal, petroleum and natural gas. These are exhaustible natural resources. Whereas there are some other resources like air, sunlight, which is unlimited. It is found abundantly in nature and it cannot be exhausted by the human activity. And these kind of fuels or fossils, they are called as inexhaustible natural resources. These are inexhaustible natural resources, okay? And like air and sunlight. Now we come to coal. Coal is one of the fossil fuels and it is formed by the dead remains of plants and animals. When plants and animals die and decay and they go on and they are found in the very depth under the earth crust of crust of the earth, they and then slowly after millions of years they form the coal. Clear? Now coal gas and coal tar, they both are, they like coal gas, coal beds, they generally contain large amount of methane gas, as well as we get it by the destructive distillation of coal. By the destructive distillation of coal, you get coal gas and coal tar. What is destructive distillation? Destructive distillation means it is a kind of process in which the coal is put in a closed container, okay? It is kept in a closed container at a very high temperature. When you keep it in a closed container at a very high temperature, slowly you will get the residue. Residue means the byproducts, okay? The byproducts, and these are the coal gas and the coal tar are the byproducts obtained after destructive distillation of coal. Coal gas, this is the gas, and the coal tar, this is also obtained by destructive distillation. It has a very foul smell and it is a brown, dark brown liquid. Naphthalene balls are made from coal tar. Clear? Then the next one is coke. Coke is the solid residue left behind after the destructive distillation of coal. Okay, when after doing destructive distillation, the solid residue is left behind. That is called as coke. And this is the pure form of carbon, which is used to manufacture steel, okay? And it is coal, as you all know children, that coal is used in industries, in power stations. We have got power stations and coal banks here. It is many coal fields are found in Bokaro and Jharia in Jharkhand, and here also near Singrauli we have got coal fields. Okay, then let's move on to the next fossil fuels, that is natural gas and petroleum. Natural gas is the another fossil fuels which is found along with petroleum, and the method of formation of natural gas is same as petroleum. The gaseous mixture containing volatile components of petroleum is called as natural gas, and this is obtained, the natural gas and petroleum is obtained from the petroleum refinery, okay? That is through the fractional distillation of crude oil. Here, fractional distillation. This is what is done to obtain natural gas and petroleum. Crude oil. What is crude oil? Crude oil is the oil which is found from beneath the earth surface. Okay, जो कच्चा तेल जिसे कहते हैं, crude oil is the raw oil, or the in Hindi we say कच्चा तेल. So this crude oil is heated at a very high temperature, and when you heat any object, you all know that liquid, it starts vaporizing. So in the same way, crude oil also, on heating at a very high temperature, near about 400 degrees Celsius, the vapors start rising up. And when these vapors rise, the temperature reduces. As you move up, here the temperature is very low. Okay. So what happens is, here, as they move up, since the temperature is low, they will start condensing to liquids. Okay, first it is vapor and then it will start condensing to liquids. So here, and there are separate chambers are made. In this, the topmost chamber, you get petroleum gas, followed by petroleum, then naphtha, kerosene, gas, and then the lubricating oil. So this is how fractional distillation of crude oil is done. Okay, and this process of separating various constituents of petroleum. These are various constituents of petroleum. Okay, petrol, naphtha, kerosene. So the process of separating various constituents of petroleum is known as refining. Okay, this is called as refining, and this is carried out in the petroleum refinery. So here you can see, by fractional distillation you get various products, petroleum, petrol, naphtha, and the uses are also given here. Okay, so children, you will have to learn this. What are the uses? Now here also, just as I told you that coal is formed by the dead and decaying plants under the earth crust. In the same way, petroleum is formed by the decomposition of dead plants and sea animals. Okay, when dead plants and animals, sea animals, they get buried under the sea under high temperature, high pressure, and absence of air inside the earth. At that time, petroleum is formed. Clear? Say there is the diagram is given, occurrence of petroleum in the earth crust. So what happens is, under the sea, when plants, animals, sea plants, they all get slowly they start depositing, and they start they die and start decaying. So again, here also it takes millions of years. Okay, so and when and due to high temperature and high pressure and also absence of air, petroleum is formed. And then this petroleum which is formed, this is crude oil. Okay, and then this is the fractional distillation is done to get the proper petroleum gas. So coal is formed by the dead remains of plants and animals under the earth crust. Okay, and petroleum is formed by the decomposition of dead plants and sea animals under the sea. So this is how coal and petroleum is formed. Clear, children? So for today we will wind up. The rest we will continue in the next class. Thank you and be safe.